Ha ke re mobu ke letlotlo ke tihile ke lena ke letlotlo le ka jeno ke ka hona ke re mobu ke taemane ya Basotho ha o lema mobu ha o ntho ka ba ihloka.
I lost my mom in 2021. As I was the one supporting my family, everybody was now looking at me as to what's next. I had to find the means to cut food costs. So I landed on hydroponics and its capabilities. Lesotho used to feed all their neighboring countries. We are now known as the most food insecure country.
In this country, we overstock our pastures. When it rains, it will be that surface runoff, and then we end up with erosion. And then that land will no longer be suitable for cultivation. That's why let's go hydroponically. It is resource efficient, while at the same time, environmentally friendly.
Hobane re hlaha sentse le kgale ntho tsena ile tsa etsala ho batho ba baholo bona ba kileng ba di bona ka mahlo ke tsebanya ha ka lonyana hore morena Moshweshwe o ile nna lwana dintwa le marena a mang naha yena Lesotho ene le naha ya tlala jwale batho ba bang ba bona ke tlala a tloa le ba bang leno lapa lao a tsamaya a tshabela ho ya kwana Thaba bosiu ya ba morena Moshweshwe ha a tloa kwa le tšhaba se sa habo a ya kwa ntatae ene le motho wa motenya e sa bila hodile ba fihla ba tshwara ntatae madimuana a mo hulela ka ne ba mo jella ka monono ya ba morena Moshweshwe a bona nthwena ya mohlorisa ya madimantsa ja batho a itherela ile yena hore ashe batho bana ke batho ha se diphoofolo ha ke tsebe nang ka ba etsa jwang a ba lata mo nono a go ma monne ke sa tsebe lebitso la ke timeletse hore batho bana ba ile ba tla ka nete morena Moshweshwe ba hlabela dikgomo ba fuwa dijo ha ka tlala tseno tse jwalo tsa dijo tseno tse lengwang ka thata ba neng ba fumana dijo ba ne ba di arolelana le ba bang batho ba kgale ne ba fana ba bile ba hauhelana taemane ya Basotho mo le ruwa la Basotho le hlahang teng
I am Mochesane Mpali, and here we are at Agri-business. In the rural areas where I grew up, farming was a daily thing. But especially in dense urban areas where we don't have any other space to do some subsistence farming, to sustain ourselves, still a struggle. There is a lot of people suffering from food insecurity. About 40% of my income back in the day was going to food. So as I was supporting my family and then supporting myself, I had to find the means to cut food costs. So I landed on different concepts. My mind was called upon hydroponics and its capabilities, especially because it doesn't involve any need for soil.
The specific problems that we have in this country are we overstock our pastures. A lot of farmers in one area will be having a lot of livestock. Then in one area, they'll be trumpeting on one area. When it rains, it will be that surface runoff, and then we end up with erosion. And then that land will no longer be suitable for cultivation. Not only that, our soils are left bare. Our mountains are bare. If we cannot control erosion, then it means, I'm afraid, we'll never have this land that we used to have. That's why it's okay to say, let's go hydroponically. It is resource efficient, while at the same time, environmentally friendly. We don't use soil which we don't have because of erosion, because of encroachment. So I think it's the best technology that our people need to adopt. Our farming practices have to change, bringing in new technologies that are climate smart, technologies that feed the food and nutrition needs and the goals of this country.
Right now I'm checking the pH of my water. So I'm trying to dilute it so that it can range from 5.5 to 6.8. Okay. In the first bucket, our nutrients is 1.9. Also in the second bucket, our nutrients is 1.9. So it means now they are ready to be given to feed our plants. He's a good person. He tries by all means to give you what is needed in hydroponics. He encourages you to try to solve problems, don't panic. He's a very good person. He motivates a lot so that you can go through this step by step. Today we're having all the people who like to know about hydroponics coming here.
What I'm going to do now is just to show you around. So basically, our farm is a hydroponics farm. So we basically don't grow vegetables using any soil. So instead of using soil, we do use what is called a grow media. So grow media is just the means to help our vegetables to grow steadily. So we have different types of grow medias. So now in this one, we have clay pebbles. So it's what helps us to keep our plants growing steadily up so that they don't float through the water because we don't use any soil. Apart from clay pebbles and grow pots, we have the grow channels. So grow channels are these pipes which mainly are used to transport the nutrient through the plant's roots. So our water solutions, of course, have the nutrition that is required for each and every specific plant to reach the harvesting stage. With this type of a design, you can grow your vegetables vertically up to the roofing level of your actual growing structure. Maybe now I can just take you through and then you ask me any questions that you might have.
We're living in an age of recycling, waste management, and environmentally conscious practices. How does hydroponics play a role in that?
So basically, you would realize that in conventional farming, there is a lot of nutrition runoff because, you'll just be throwing some nutrients above ground and then just mixing around, and then when there is heavy rainfall, it just comes and then all the nutrition will be lost and then there will be that runoff. But with hydroponics, the system works in a closed loop. We are able to also use only organic manure, organic pesticides.
I first heard about Lema in 2022 when he was holding one of his first DIY training projects. And I learned a lot from that. I learned that there are easier ways to go into hydroponic farming. I've grown my own herbs. I've also grown garlic. I've also grown tomatoes.
To what extent are people who are resident in mountains in a position to practice this type of farming?
If maybe you are in the highlands, you'll definitely have to figure out some heating mechanism to just heat around the greenhouse, because we know the highlands in Lesotho are typically cold.
My background is public health with a specialty in nutrition, and I'm a former employee of the government of Lesotho, in particular the Ministry of Health. So that connection between food and nutrition and health, good health, has always been my passion. My worry is, I'm not sure whether as a country or as a continent, we have enough resources to cater for this climate change that we are going to be facing in the very near future. And I see food security as the main area that is going to be affected. And I'm so scared that we might not be in a position to produce enough food for our populations.
Smile.
I grew up being taken care by my mom, my father, and my grandmother. I lost my mom in 2021. As I was the one supporting my mom and then the rest of my family, everybody was now looking at me as to what's next, what's going to happen about the family. That's when I said, let me just go ahead with this. I'll just see what happens. And then I registered a company in October 2021. So I was still recovering from, the hating moments, but there was no rest for me. I had to figure out something out as quickly as possible. So we have a handful of fresh vegetables here. I'm gonna enjoy this with my little brother.
We grew up together, we went to the same school, attended the same class. He's my motivation because every time I'm about to hit a hard rock, he always comes to my rescue. So he's my brother, he's my family, he's my best friend, he's everything to me. He started this hydroponics and it was not easy. He's a good guy, he's a great guy, he's a genius. He never gives up.
I put it in the oven, so it's probably gonna take about 15 to 30 minutes or so. And then we are gonna have a very basic and simple plate of some protein, vegetables, and then papa.
A society which is not food secured has a tendency of this kind of disruption. So it's important that we have abundance of food that is produced by our people. If we have this, then we'll have peace in this country. Peace in a way that the food prices will be affordable. Peace in a way that we'll have access to food. For those that have plenty, they will take care of those that are in need, in desperate need of food. Then it will create jobs for such people. So it is job creation out of food. It is food and nutrition security for such people. As long as there's plenty of food, then we talk of happiness. We talk of peace that Mosheshe has been hammering on, has been emphasizing.
We are harvesting some spinach for my granny. We are going to visit her today. So she basically is the one who has actually made me develop interest for spinach. We used to eat spinach and do some salad back in the day, and then just doing some basic dishes. So I think she's gonna love it because I haven't actually taken any vegetables I have grown hydroponically to her. So this would be her first time tasting the fruits of her grandson's labor.
A lot of people are suffering, in particular those people who migrated from the rural areas coming to Maseru. They tend to suffer because they cannot even farm. They're living in rented houses. They cannot even use the smaller space in their plot of land.
My husband have been doing livestock, have been doing piggery, have been doing broilers. Basotho eat a lot of meat, so it's not easy. This thing of not eating too much meat for them, it's a new thing. So I don't think it's something that will go anytime soon. With the animal waste, the intention is to do the manure for my crops. In that way, I'll be able to save costs.
We have another revenue model that is assembling for anybody who would want us to assemble for them, or maybe anybody who wants to do this either as a hobby practically or go commercially about it. Okay.
But because of letting the same problem. Nowadays, people are moving to the farms because we have realized that there is a shortage. There is no food sustainability within our country because we always run to South Africa to buy food. So now people are beginning to venture into farming.
Let's just cut, You don't necessarily have to.
My husband was the one who was the farmer, so he passed on, and then I had to take over. So I got trained, then I found it as a passion. I think it was my coping mechanism, in a way, to deal with grief.
Specifically.
Yes.
Okay, but you want to crop rate.
I have realized that I love it. I even resigned from my work.
Phosphorus. It's specific for hydroponics, but you cannot fumana so more easily transplanted or
So now I'm doing piggery, chickens, and hydroponic because it was love at first sight. Because I remember the first time I met with Mochesane, my mentor, he was at the mall promoting the hydroponic, and I just bought right on the spot.
My grandmom means a lot to me because she is the one who actually nurtured me. I'm trying to have a mix of different vegetables just to complement the spinach. Do you have any not so ripe ones? Okay, this one's 25 bucks. Okay, so now we have 1 pack of tomatoes. Any other that is not so ripe? Yes, I'm doing a whole lot in country. During my childhood, my parents were at work most of the time. We had a caretaker back then, but the closest connection I had during my childhood was with grandma because she was the one who took me to the clinic, who took me to school and giving me the caretaking every child would need. So yeah, we are done as a market. Thank you. Right now we are in Leribe, Mahobong, where my grannies is living with my auntie. The car can reach the place, so we are gonna just take a short walk to the place. It's just about 2 minutes walk. Okay, let's go for it. I grew up in a rural place called Minyami with my grandparents. So we would go to the farms early in the mornings, and then we would wake up around 4 a.m. and then at 7 we go back, and then 8 we are at school. And then after that, after school, we take care of the cattle. We will do some preparations to just close the day off.
Ke ngwana wa bobedi wa moga wa ka, moshangana wa bobedi wa moga wa ka. O hlaetse mapoteng. A hlaela matsohong a ka. Ke tloa kwana mme wa hae ke sa tsebe gona o tla kena tluneng. Jwale e le motho ya bonolo. Ya mosa. Ya ratang temo. Ha ke le maka ja ka ka mano sa le teng. Kopotso no ga go funyana e skeketla. O sa kopotsa le yena o sa go rata ho jala le yena, o jala poneno ka bongwana. A bona la le motho wa ratang temo, nna le ke motho wa ratang temo batswadi ba ka. Hele. Okay.
Ke ona first baby.
A go bona. Di go tseza ka ntwe. Ya hlaba. Ya hlaba ntwe.
This is what the raised bed for Lesotho looks like.
Inze ibe. Itimele zo fela hona. Ke tsa bua. Mo bona inze be ya be. Inze thunyeke. Inze be.
O tshwana le ntate Mpali a tse. Ka banda te Mpali ke tla o tshwana le wena. E le monyana fela o e hlamela gore nne nyolo.
Nne nyolo. Ke gora ha ke fihla mo. Ke selemo sa bokana. Ntse hloma fe.
Ka moga Maria ya khutla.
Ka Maria ya khutla.
Okay. But ntse mosebetsi o motla ka nnete. Ha ba tamatika.
ka nnete re jele he tamati jwale ke ena e hanne ho shwa e ntse etsa ke ena ntse beha re ntse re ya be
o ntse go dula gona mo
a bo se ile ga go tula sa o khatlamela
se ke tla o letsetsa
nna ke rata temo le gona jwale hobane ke nkile mmoko heso ka le go ele 1933 ho thone ke le mo di 7 wa pone hobane heso ho no ho lengwa ke ka hona ke re mobu ke taimane ya Basotho jwale ha e sa le mothapone wa temo ko nkile le hona jwale bana ba ka ba tseba tje a buti Mochesane o tseba jwalo ngwaneno a bitswa Mochesane o jere le lapa laka hona jwale ke thabo ke thabile fela ka nnete ka motho eno ha a wetse ka mobu a lema hobane ke bona nna ba bangata ba dutse ba sa sebetse ba lebeletse hore ba tla bala 1 2 tleke ena ha e sana ke thabile haholo ha wetse ka temong motho ena a bitswa Mochesane
kwena jetse mo kokonyana ba ke leme mo go magia mo
re leme wa mari
ke a bona kokonyana o sebeditse mosane
che
o sebeditse ka nnete go na ke tshebetso ha re ke lo thusa go nyorwa mane mohlomo
nna ke hle
ke sentse ke na okay
le se ke lo phomora mo difumana
ke nana se re tla betse mokgong se re tla tsama bathe ke tla nne go bona wa tsena pele ke le bala go re ke tse dipompo
yo we ke ga wa tseba
ka birinyana ka mabana My dream for Lesotho is for it to be like back in the day on its prosperous days, because Lesotho used to feed all the other neighboring countries. It used to be known to be one of the top exporters of asparagus. We are now in these days known as the most food insecure country. So my biggest dream is to one day see Lesotho be able to, have surplus yields to export. That would mean I'm living the dream.
Ha ke re mobu ke le tlotlo ke tihile ke lena ke le tlotlo le ka jeno ha o lema o tla ja nna ke rata temo ke ka hona ke re mobu ke taimane ya Basotho ha o lema mobu ha o nthoka ba ihloka